Hey guys, what's happening? I want to welcome you to the first episode of My Thoughts Monday. What this is hopefully going to become is an open platform for coaches to share anything that they're thinking about or that they feel that can help, you know, drive the profession forward in a 5 to 10 minute monologue. Just a short little talk about some things that you find value in that you can share. Um, I'm going to start it out. My name is DeMayo. I'm the head strength and conditioning coach for basketball at the University of Richmond. And I'm also the founder of Central Virginia Sport Performance, which is the podcast that you're listening to now and is associated with the seminar and the manual and the community, amongst other things. What I would really like to talk about today, though, guys, is the situation that we have in this profession of sport performance, strength and conditioning, whatever we're calling it today, when it comes to vernacular. You go to symposiums or seminars or continuing education events, whatever we're calling them now, and very often you see people talking about things but using different words. And for the most part, coaches are okay with that, right? For the most part, we're like, yeah, well, we're talking about the same things, they're just using different words. Or we literally say it's all in the vernacular. But I would be one to argue that that actually is really important. You know, when you look at a lot of these things, like one situation in particular where this arises quite a bit is when we look at jump training. And I think that it's important to note that, a lot of this, vernacular, issue that we have, these exercises have been quantified and qualified as well as the methods used to implement them for quite some time. You know, there's Yuri Verkhoshansky, as was shared with us by Dr. Natalia Verkhoshansky. Uh, you know, her father had qualifications for jumping exercises. He had all of these things designed to lead up to the depth jump. He had, really, it's kind of like a quadrant type setup. Really, you have your short coupling and your long coupling exercises. Your short coupling exercises are just bouncing type movements, where your long coupling exercises are more of your explosive, big, violent, a little bit more time on the ground type movements. And then we look at the methods used with them. You have your extensive method, which is more bouncing, more. You can do it extensively. Basically, you could do it for a very, very long time. And then you have your intensive method, and the intensive method, you're looking to perform it as intensely as possible. So we're looking at measuring speeds. We're looking at measuring distances or times it takes to cover distances or maximum heights, if you may, with certain jumps. So you can perform, short coupling extensive, short coupling intensive, or long coupling, extensive, or long coupling intensive jumps. Now, when people would say, well, what about like when you do single jumps or you do single landings or whatever it may be? Like, if you're worried about the landing, then are you doing jump training or are you doing landing training? Would be the question I would ask. So I don't think those would fit in. When you're looking at more single effort jumps, maximally done single effort jumps within a set, they termed as the combined method. Now, as time has gone by, we have a bunch of different names that we use for all of these exercises. We look at it, and some people would call them, multi-response or whatever it may be. And I think that this is where a lot of confusion comes in, is because these names have been given, but people have decided for whatever reason, whether they actually did not know they were named this, or they wanted to come up with their own name, that we are going to have multiple ways to identify the same thing. And that leads to an excessive amount of confusion within the profession, in my opinion. Another example of this is, you would not hook a tendo to the bar, a gym aware to the bar, put a push band on your arm, or whatever it may be, and say you're doing bar speed training. we would all call it velocity-based training, right? But with the jumps, it's something that's always been different. And I don't understand that. And I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other examples where we can look at different things involved in, improving sport performance and see that there is some issue with vernacular. So I guess that my question would be, why? Like, if these names are there and these jumps have been quantified and qualified in certain situations, do we continue to change the names? I don't have the answer for that. Now, obviously, the two examples I gave when it came to Dr. Natalia Vorkashensky and Dr. Brian Mann, I'm excessively biased with because both of them have been extremely important to me, both in my career and in developing everything that we do here at Central Virginia Sport Performance. But I would just ask everyone, when they're looking at these things, to take a step back and to really understand that for us to move forward, we need to speak in the same language. So let's make sure that we get these things right, or at least we all get on the same page, right? I mean, if any of you have sat down and read the Harry Potter books, no one would ever say that the stories were about Jane, Joe, and Jeff, right? It's all about Ron, Harry, and Hermione. So why are we then changing these things for whatever reason that we're reading in a different sense? So that's just my thoughts for this Monday. Something that is, I think that we need as a profession to talk more about and to move forward with and to kind of unify ourselves a bit, so that we're all on the same page and we all understand what we're talking about and what we're doing. Hopefully this can help lead some discussion and it can help us move a little bit more in the same direction together. I thank you guys for taking the time and for everything you do for us here at Central Virginia Sport Performance. And yeah, this is hopefully something we're going to do weekly. If you have anything that you would like to share, if you have anything that you're doing that you think people should know about that would help drive discussion and drive the profession forward, feel free to hit us on the DM on Twitter or Instagram, or shoot us a message on Facebook, or email us at cvasps@gmail.com with whatever that may be in a video. Dropbox it to us, and we'll put you live here on an edition of My Thoughts Monday. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for taking the time to listen. Hope you have an awesome day, and we will talk to you again real soon.